Hey guys, Marsinkin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and so today we're going to be looking at the AGL Transforming Cell EZA. Obviously we're using him on the new Cell team, so we can get the full 220% lead. I'm running the same event that I did with the Goku and Gohan unit, just because I feel like that's another sort of way that we can compare the two, right, by seeing how well they both performed in the same event. Obviously the Cell is a different kind of unit, right? Goku and Gohan do switch into being like a slot 1 unit, which this guy doesn't really. He does also have the rage mode that we can use later on, which is very useful. But if we take a look at what he does, so obviously he starts off at first form Cell, greatly raised attack, which is an infinite stack, greatly raised defense for 1 turn and does immense damage to the enemy. And then he has key 1, 250 attack and defense, and a high chance to dodge. When attacking with 12 or more key, he gets 170% attack and defense, which is a pretty significant buff. Then when facing 2 or more enemies, he gets extra attack and defense and extra crit and dodge chance. And then 3 or more enemies, extra attack and defense and extra crit and dodge chance. Not really anything that's useful in the majority of the difficult events that are out nowadays. Like, it's an interesting sort of like flavor thing for his passive, right? Because it's supposed to be like him fighting the other androids, right, to try and absorb them, which is why you have like the 18 and the 17%. And as he then absorbs the other androids and transforms into his other forms, these abilities then just become part of his kit without having to fight multiple enemies, which is a cool idea for a design, but obviously it means that on the very first turn, in most of the difficult content, you're not getting a lot of these buffs because we're mostly fighting one boss. However, he does also have, when HP is 50% or more, key 2, an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super, and then damage reduction, crit chance, and dodge chance 17%. So on turn 1, even against one enemy, he has a 67% chance to dodge, 17% damage reduction, can get the extra super. Now the problem is, we did have him on turn 2. I didn't expect the other units to do as much damage, so if I put you in slot 1, chances are you're going to additional and get a crit. So I'm going to try this. We've got a 67% chance to dodge and the damage reduction. If he normals in slot 1, as long as he doesn't super, like normals in slot 1, Cell should just tank those anyway. And it's only a super that he would need to dodge. But there you go, he dodges both the additionals. So he starts off at 20 million. I mean, considering with UI Goku and 18, I checked for both, like he only has shocking speed and fierce battle. We get the additional super as well. So bear in mind, 170% on super. He had like 400k defense start of turn. So he also is greatly raising with his super attack effect, but like 400k plus 170% means he's going up to 1,000,000 defense without even factoring in the super attack raises, and he did get a second super attack as well, so he was probably sat at around anywhere between 1.3 and 1.5 million defense with 17% damage reduction and a 67% chance to dodge. So I mean, that's definitely very good for his first turn, right? So we've not got the best rotation here though, I will say, so I guess we'll do this. Good thing you don't need key. And then we can grab 9 orbs for Tech Cell. It's obviously very good. And then just grab those for you. Cell's team, I still struggle with the like best build. A couple of people, like I made the tier list and a lot of people were not happy about the STR Cell placement. A couple of people telling me that like I've been using him wrong in the videos and stuff. But like I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me like what a good build for his team is with like who are you supposed to put in slot 1 on his team. AGL UI Goku is an option that we've brought here, but we've already seen in the Formidable Foes video that I did the issue that can occur when UI Goku has his revival up and then doesn't dodge, and then he dies and it uses his revival, and then neither of the STR cells can then revive, so neither of them get that big buff that they really need to be a good unit. But look at Zamasu out here dodging left and right. Tech Cell, of course, benefits massively. He looks crazy on this team, like 37 million attack, heals with each super, should eat this for double-digit damage. Yeah, Zamasu does a 2.8 million damage super. And yeah, Tech Cell just eats that for breakfast. And then we get our attacks off. My Cell, I didn't mention it in a previous video, but my Cell is at 69% now. after the initial summons, I was like 6 coins away from pity. So once we'd done some of the other events and stuff, I'm not going to waste my time doing like 5 or was it 6 singles. So I just did it was 194 coins. So rather than do 6 singles, I just did another multi just to see what would happen. And funnily enough, I did get like a double featured unit multi, but it was the AGL Cell and STR Goku and Gohan, who obviously we're doing the videos for them today, but I already had them rainbowed. I'd already pulled copies of them during the initial summons. So unfortunately, it would have been a good multi in other circumstances, getting a nice little double featured pull, but it got me the coins that I needed to get the dupe for Cell, like the guaranteed pity copy. I'm not sure how I feel about actually no, what am I doing? Let's switch over to you. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that decision now overall. There's part of me that feels like I probably should have just taken the 194 red coins as opposed to having a dupe for Cell, considering how much I dislike him. But now we've transformed into second form Cell, so we still greatly raise attack with the infinite stack, greatly raise defense 1 turn, immense damage. We now get to 80% attack and defense and 2 key. We have guard. We have 17% damage reduction and crit chance and dodge, because again that's now factored into his full passive. When attacking with 12 or more key, he gets 180% attack and defense. Then against 2 enemies, he would get more attack and defense and more crit chance and dodge chance. And then when HP is 50% or more, 1 key, additional attack that has a high chance to become a super, damage reduction, crit chance and dodge chance 18%. So he has guard, 35% damage reduction. He's got, what is it, 35% dodge as well, 35% chance to crit. So he's not got as much dodge, but he's got more defense after supering and has more damage reduction. So it is interesting how the different parts of the passive like switch around. But yeah, this Goku should be fine in slot 1. Didn't get supered immediately, so now we know he's going to be good here post super. Obviously we really need another Cell unit on rotation with this guy to make him look as good as he can, but obviously we got an STR Cell floated off on the previous turn. It's the annoying thing about having no I didn't realise the other STR Cell was in slot 7, so turn 1 we didn't have AGL Cell, and then turn 2 when he came onto rotation we didn't have the other STR Cell, so typical awkward starting rotation shenanigans. But I mean, Cell still looks relatively good even without a crazy amount of links active. His post-super defense is pretty high. Like, we're still talking with him being in the 1.4, 1.5 million range. But on this turn, not only does he have guard, but he has 35% damage reduction and 35% chance to dodge. Which means the dodge chance not being that, like, not being too high, you can't necessarily rely on it. But guard plus 35% damage reduction is still a lot when it comes to tanking some of these big hits, right? Because even like a 3 million damage super, take off 35%, that drops to 1.9. If he's got 1.5 million defense and guard, then he should be eating that attack for around about double-digit damage. So definitely very good. I'm not going to use the active skill for you just yet because I kind of would like you to revive. So if he can get killed here, that would be great. But let's go ahead and do this. He's not going to super in slot 1, is he? Yeah, they never slot 1 super you when you actually want them to. But so 16 million attack stat here from STR Cell. Doesn't get dodged, which is good. Yeah, as long as Zamasu doesn't go crazy with the dodging on this turn, then we should be good. I say, and then he dodges. So right, the friend Cell is Rainbow. Gets another super here for 18. There we go. Alright, and then Tech Cell. Tech Cell with the support from... Oh, it's another super up to 20. That's hidden potential. Tech Cell with the support from 18 should be looking pretty good on this turn. We didn't get a crazy amount of orbs, but he's got a lot of support. Yeah, just casual 30 million. Alright. So this is now the main event, but this is where it gets tricky for this team, or for Cell specifically. Because obviously with Goku Black and Zamasu being AGL, right, so one domain ends, the next domain begins. At least we've got that. Bear in mind, of course, we are getting the domain buff at every point here. I mean, honestly, what we should really do is just leave you in slot 1. What does the active skill do? It heals us, which we don't need. And then it's just an attack boost and a physical key spheres to rainbow, which, again, don't really need that here. Although, I guess that would change the one in the middle, and then he could get a ton of orbs. We finally have the 2 cells together. So now that we've transformed into Perfect Cell, he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does immense damage. And then his passive is Key 3, attack and defense 400%, damage reduction, crit chance and dodge chance 35%. For 3 turns from his entry turn, he guards all attacks. And then when attacking with 12 or more key, he gets 180%. When HP is 50% or more, he gets an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super, and then his crit chance and dodge chance is an extra 35%. So when you're at 50% or more HP, he has a 70% chance to dodge, whilst also having guard for the 3 turns, which is good. Obviously in slightly longer events it's not going to be as crazy, but 400% stats. That means you can see here, start of turn, he's at 742k defense. So bear in mind, even without his super attack effect, he gets 180% when he attacks. So he goes straight up to being at like 2 million defense. Then obviously there's the super attack effect as well. And of course he has the damage reduction, 35%, whilst also having a 70% chance to dodge. I mean, that's really, really good. So let's do that. Changes those orbs, and then you can grab all of those. And then, yeah, we've got basically every link active except for Attack of the Clones. Because obviously Big Bad Bosses makes a huge difference for him, right? So, are you just going to die at the end of the turn? I mean, I wouldn't be super opposed to that, I guess. So let's do that. And then do that for you. Alright, so this should be a good turn for Cell. He gets a massive buff on attack. So, yeah, even Goku at 29 million here. So this Goku Frieza, definitely an interesting option for this team, becoming a slot 1 tank when we transform into the Goku. I guess with the domain buffing tournament participants, like, definitely a good option for this team. Still not my favourite anniversary unit. I know, I think both, is that 48 million? Okay, it's not bad. 48 million. Then we have the chance for the additional here as well. Yeah, takes us up to 51. Okay, that's looking pretty good. There's the crit as well. So yeah, basically did like 100 million attack stat over 2 supers, then dodged both the normals. He's not going to dodge the super, is he? But I kind of didn't want him to dodge the super, because then we see him tank it and he takes double-digit damage. And remember, their Holy Light Grenade super does 4.2 million. They don't raise attack on that one, it's the other one they raise attack. So 4.2 million, and he just tanks that for double-digit damage. Of course, he dodged the normals and eats the super, but as long as he's taking double-digit damage, it doesn't really matter, right? So I'm not sure what the friends sell, because these guys do 1.5 million damage normals. Post-supering, Cell's defense is obviously pretty good, but okay, yeah, he does take double-digit damage here. Good, good. Alright, now the only other thing that we need to see is Cell's active skill with the Rage mode. So let's go ahead, and I guess we've got to float the STR cells anyway, don't we? So the problem is, you could quite easily let us down here. Maybe I should just do this, right, and get the revive for this cell. Because I feel like in slot 1, he is just going to die, right? So if we do this, because whether they super or not, he doesn't have guard. Their supers do, their normals do 1.5 million, and he only has 1 million defense. So if we do this, he just dies, and then we get to revive and go back to the other cell rotation. Oh, and they're going to super straight away, so yeah, that's GG. Oh, okay, he dodged. Of course he did. 474k. Are they attacking after this? Because they're healing. But are they attacking as well? Okay, yes, they are. Good. Of course the friend dodged the super. Bruh. This is the problem with, and it's always been the problem with like Fat Boo and Metal Cooler, the characters who they need to die themselves, and then something happens and you get like a random, I don't know how much dodge this guy has, imagine it was level 3, you get a random 3% dodge, and that scuppers your plans for the unit dying so you can actually revive. Because how much does he take post-supering? Yeah, he takes double-digit damage. Now we need to rely on UI Goku to dodge, because Tech Cell's going to heal a little bit on his supers, and then obviously heal tank for double-digit damage. Of course, there's the problem with Cell. Fortunately, the hidden potential came in clutch. I was going to say, there's the problem with Cell compared to Buhan, where he doesn't have the guaranteed additional. Is the additional from his passive only being a normal attack. But yeah, UI Goku is completely now, if he doesn't dodge these normals in slot 3, then we're dead. Which is super annoying, because his revival's not active because we weren't at low HP at the start of the turn. Because what's his post super? He doesn't get a lot of defense on super, does he? He had like 900k defense start of turn. I'm not sure how much defense he gets on super, but he's also going to suffer from the extreme versus super modifier, so like he basically has to dodge. Okay, good. Whew. It's one of those things, it's crazy to think that like 70% chance to dodge, and we have to actually still like worry about whether or not he is going to get it. Alright, so this isn't going to be a crazy turn for Cell because we don't have big bad bosses. Unfortunately, his active skill can only be activated when you're at 50% or less HP and facing one enemy. Which I guess like that means that Tech Cell is kind of counterproductive with that healing. And you can see here, like without big bad bosses and the other Cell links, he's only at 570k defense start of turn, which is nowhere near as good. I mean, he still gets a pretty significant amount on super, right? So the plus 180%, that puts him to 1.6 million. And he's still backing that up with 35% damage reduction and dodge. But I guess that's the thing, right? If he's below 50% HP, you lose these buffs at the bottom, but then you have the ability to rage mode, which of course, as we know, you can use that to essentially cancel out like an enemy super attack. And then it kind of, that removes the danger of the fact that he's not as good defensively if you're starting below 50% HP. So that is quite a good little design, like setup. If you get to that turn where you are on low health, he's weaker defensively, but then you can just pop the rage mode. So we're probably not going to get to see that here. It's typical because we're not super far away from 50%. But even on this turn, right, with the less links, no big bad bosses, still hits for 38 million. And there's the crit, there's the additional, so it's another 40 million. So yeah, I mean, he's still very, very good. Like, he instantly jumps up. Like, Cell's team is significantly better by having this guy's EZA, right? That's over 120 million attack stat worth of supers from this guy. Multiple crits, so he did solid damage. And then, how's he going to fare here? No big bad bosses. He gets to dodge, because he has a 70% chance to dodge. So, yeah, AGL Cell, very, very good. There is a possibility that 18 just gets us killed here, but unfortunately against any sort of tough enemies, she is a dodge or die support unit. So, very possible that she's going to die here, but we kind of saw what we needed to see from AGL Cell. Unfortunate that we don't get to see the rage mode in this particular run, but, and we all know what rage modes do, right? It'll be interesting to see what the attack stat is, but obviously rage modes don't do a particularly crazy amount of damage. They're just there really for you to get that free turn where you can bait out a super, it gets negated, then we go back to the rotation. We know we can't get supered, but of course in this situation, it doesn't really matter when 18 is dying to normal attacks. It's a real shame because we've seen some really good banner units in the last like 6 months to a year. And the 18 is not up there with some of those greats, unfortunately. But yeah, AGL Cell, definitely very good, very strong EZA. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Definitely a huge buff to the Cell team. And let me know what your thoughts are. What is the best build for Cell's team? Who are you running as the slot ones? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.